looking at the Rock in Plymouth. It's been a while, but we are happy to be back for a great non-conference battle tonight between the Marian Knights and the Plymouth Pilgrims on this edition of the 46 Game of the Week. And how you doing, everybody? Alongside Angelo DiCarlo and with the Hall of Famer Bo Hunt courtside, it's Chuck Freeby. Great to have you with us for what we think will be an exciting Friday night of high school basketball on TV46. Look, you're used to seeing the Marian Knights on TV46. They have been a perennial power for about a decade. A little bit of a rough start right now for Rob Berger's team at 1-3.
Very unusual position to be. They haven't been in this position in 5 years or so. And shooting's been the problem so far. The defense has been excellent, but they just can't get shots to go. In the sport of basketball, getting the shot to go in the basket is kind of a big deal. They're hoping things can turn around here tonight.
And that's precisely the reason the Plymouth Pilgrims are playing good basketball right now. They're shooting 40% beyond the arc as a team. Joel Grindel's team off to a 3-1 start, and he keeps talking about teamwork and chemistry, and they've bought in.
And it's really interesting because they have a lot of inexperience themselves, and yet a lot of guys who didn't play last year have moved into starting roles and have played really well and have shot the ball really well. And it's been a minute since Plymouth basketball has been Plymouth basketball, and they're hoping maybe this is a group that can start getting them back towards that.
And that brings us to Bo Hunt, standing by courtside. And Bo, you've got one team that's used to winning big games and believes they should be winning. Another team that believes they should be winning but hasn't been here for a while. Who's this bigger for tonight?
Yeah, when you look at this game, it's not a conference game. These guys aren't in the same conference. These guys aren't in the same sectional. They're in a different class. So what does this game mean? Well, for Marian, they have not lost more than 4 games in the last 6 years. Plymouth, they haven't gone 4-1 in the last 6 years. So this is a big game for both of these teams tonight, guys.
Indeed, something's got to give, and we're about to find out. We've got the St. Joe County Police Department pregame show and our keys to win, and it's all next on the 46 Game of the Week.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week, brought to you by Bill's Heating, Health Markets, Tony Letcher, St. Joseph County Police Department, Martin's Supermarkets, Tire Rack, HealthLink, Raising Cane's, Crown Trophy, Ben's Soft Pretzels, API St. Andrews Products, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, and the IHSAA.
And this edition of the TV46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by the St. Joseph County Police Department. Join the team, help protect and serve our community. We are at the Rock in Plymouth, one of the great arenas in northern Indiana, and we're ready to present you with our St. Joseph County Police Department pregame show featuring our key players and keys to win. We'll start with the Marian Knights, who are led by 6'4" senior Zion Rhodes, averaging 13 points and 7.5 rebounds a game. The 3-year starter has already had 3 games in double figures this year, and he's their leading outside shooter, nailing 5 from three-point range. And when they want to go inside, they go to do so, and the 6'3" junior averaging 10.5 points and 4.5 rebounds a game. He's also a very good defender, tied for the team lead in steals and block shots. The keys to win for the veteran Rob Berger and the Knights.
Well, they got to create good shots. They got to play faster, perhaps, to open up opportunities. They got to shadow the shooters for Plymouth. Plymouth can shoot, so they don't want to let them get any good looks. And they got to clean the glass, limit Plymouth's second chance opportunities. Here's 26-year head coach Rob Berger on his team's 1-3 start.
Well, I mean, I can't be too upset. We play really, really hard. You know, every team that's beaten us so far, if you add them up, they are undefeated. And we're really competing. We're playing on the defensive end. So far this year, we can't get a shot to drop. I mean, we're shooting, 18% from 3 and about 43% from the field. So, hopefully, with some confidence. We're not young, but we are inexperienced. And hopefully once those guys get used to playing varsity basketball, those shots will start falling for us. So, 4 years ago, we started pretty similar, 1-2, 0-2, and, we ended up winning the sectional that year. So it's a long season. I hope we can, knock down a few shots, hopefully starting tonight.
Just as Rhodes and Owens are the experienced players coming back for Marian, Plymouth relying on their experienced players as well. One of them, Kobe Walters, their leading scorer at 16 points a game. The senior hitting 38% from three-point range. He's been in double figures for 4 games and has really emerged as a leader on this team. And then when they need some help from the bigs, it's 6'5" junior Caden Ellery. 15.8 points, 6.8 rebounds a game. He's hitting 65% of his field goals this year and had a season-high 20 against Jimtown on Tuesday night. Keys to win for Joel Grindle and the Pilgrims.
They got to attack the zone. Marian plays that 2-3 Jim Boeheim Syracuse zone as well as anyone. They've got to play good in transition defense. They don't want to make it easy for Marian to score, and they got to keep Marian off the boards. Here's Joel Grindle and the excitement of Plymouth's 3-1 start.
Well, again, we like what we have. I've told people everything. I like this group of guys. I like this group of players that we had. This is a group that I came in with 3 years ago, and they've done everything I've asked for them to do, and they put themselves into a position where people are starting to look and put some eyes back on the program, and we're excited for that, and we're excited for the opportunity to be on the air tonight.
As Bo mentioned, it's been 6 years since Plymouth has gone 4-1. Shoot, it's been 5 since they've had a basketball game on TV46. They're excited to have us here. We're happy to be here. Marian and Plymouth is coming up next with the starting lineups and opening tip on 46.
kindly remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
This edition of the 46th Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Tire Rack. TireRack.com is the way tire buying should be. Welcome those of you watching on our Papa John's of Plymouth live stream tonight, or if you're watching at TV46, happy to have you with us. Time now for the starting lineups. Here's Angelo.
First for the Marian Knights, starting lineup brought to you by Marian High Schooler. Jordan Mouse is a 6-foot senior guard, averaging 3.3 points per game. Paxton Sullivan, a 5'11 junior, 8.8 points per game, leads the team in steals and assists. Zion Rhodes, 6'4 senior forward, leads the team in scoring, rebounding, and blocks. Deuce Owens, a 6'3 junior returning starter from a year ago. And Jackson Horvath, a 6-foot senior guard. He's the best shooter on the team, but shots haven't fallen so far this year. They're hoping to get him going here tonight. Now your starting lineup for Plymouth, brought to you by Michiana Contracting. Preston Wolf is a 6-foot junior, averaging 13 points per game. He's hit at least 3 threes in every game this year. Colby Walters, the lone senior starter for the Pilgrims. He's a 6-foot guard and a 3-sport star, 16 points per game. Dan Wen, a 5'10 sophomore, 6 points per game. Caden Ellery, a 6'5 junior, 15.8 points, 6.8 rebounds per game. And Trent Van Dyne, a 6-foot junior, 6 points and 5 rebounds per contest.
The series history goes all the way back to 1968. They played a couple of times back in the postseason in the old LaVille sectional. Plymouth leads this all-time series by a count of 8-4, despite the fact that last year at Demetrius Jackson Court, Marian won and by a pretty healthy margin, 64-44, back on December 9th. The officials for tonight's game, Bob Filipek is working with Marvin Jurjevic and Neil McCartney, veteran crew here, and the IHSA once again reminds you, you look at those three fellas and, you know, they're getting a little gray along the temples. We need some more people in officiating. I thought Brian Lewis made that very clear in our prime midweek broadcast. You need officials in just about every sport, and if you're interested at all, contact your local St. Joe Valley Officials Association. Reach out to Jimmy Arnett, and he would be glad to help you out.
Or reach out to your local coach or athletic director. They'll get you in contact with the right people, because everyone knows that this is something that has to be addressed, and the more the merrier to get some more officials going here. If you're interested, a former player, a former coach, and you want to get back into the game, officiating is a great way to do so.
Before the game, when we talked with Joel Grindle, one of the things I asked him about was the community support that they've been getting here at Plymouth. And here's what Grindle, who played for the Pilgrims 25 years ago, had to say.
Yeah, I'll tell you, it absolutely is. You know, a lot of people will ask me about my goals and the things for our program, and you know, I could kind of sum it up this way. We have all sorts of win and loss goals, but you know, 25 years ago, this crew was in the gym watching me and my teammates out there. Some of those teammates became, you know, my best friends. And one of them even became my brother-in-law and became family. And unfortunately, this past September, we lost Andy. And I'll tell you, the community support that we've had has been unbelievable for myself and my family. And the cool thing is, and I hope that we're still doing this at Plymouth with Ed and the school and the basketball, is the friends we've had from high school that could come in and the teammates that you could come in and celebrate. My hope for what we're doing for our program is that each and every one of my guys, when they come in 25 years, hopefully they have those joyful memories that they can walk in the gym and it's pure joy, and they can remember all the great times they had with all their friends and all the relationships they built. That's what makes Plymouth a special place. That's what makes high school sports so special. We appreciate all that you've done and everything that you guys do for the high school athletes, because it is so important and it is so special for the adults, for the teachers, for the educators, but also for the kids, especially for them, because the memories that they'll make will last a lifetime.
The opening tip sponsored by First Federal Savings Bank of Plymouth, controlled by the Marian Knights. In the blue with a record of 1-3. Jackson Horvath getting the start tonight. Zion Rhodes tried to go inside. A nice move and a layup by Paxton Sullivan puts the Knights on the board. Sullivan, the 5'11 junior, scoring about 9 points a game. Here's Plymouth with a record of 3-1, facing full court pressure from Marian. Plymouth coming off a win on Tuesday night against Jimtown, and Kobe Walters loses the handle. Transition basketball. Deuce Owens is fouled on the way up, and he'll go to the line for free throws, sponsored by CB Custom Painting.
Take a look at the replay brought to you by Peter Horvath Estate Planning. As they get the steal, they get it up to Owens. Owens gets the foul and a chance to go to the free throw line. And you saw there, Chuck, Marian playing fast right out of the gate, something they haven't done early and something they switched up in practice on Wednesday.
Trying to create points. Owens, a 71% free throw shooter, had a career-high 12 points Tuesday night in their loss to Mishawaka. 1 of 2 in that trip to the stripe. Trent Van Dyne gets the rebound for Plymouth. Dan Nguyen up top facing the 2-3 zone that Joel Grindle just raved about. He called Rob Berger the Jim Boeheim of Northern Indiana basketball with this zone defense, and Nguyen makes another turnover. 2 without a shot so far for Plymouth. Owens for 3, ring it up. Deuce for a trace, his first of the year, and Marian comes out to a 6-0 lead.
Well, that'll break the scoring woes early on. A good sign here for the Knights, as they have struggled from shooting the basketball early on.
Nguyen throws it away again. Here's Moust. Moust in the corner. Outside, Paxton Sullivan. Sullivan shows the nice handle and a little teardrop jumper to make it 8-0 Marian. And Joel Grindle's team really being stifled by this Marian pressure.
Paxton 4 early points. Rob Berger called him the most improved player on the team. And one thing that is certain, Marian's defense stifling early on. 4 early turnovers for Plymouth.
We've played a minute 45, and Plymouth will take a timeout. And we will as well. Marian leads at 8-0 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by Raising Cane's craveable chicken finger meals. One love.
LifePlex in Plymouth is Marshall and surrounding counties' premier medical wellness facility. They support students, sports, and athletes of all ages. Join them at Fitness Forum at LifePlex for court sports, track cardio, and strength workouts, skill training, rock climbing, and swimming. Go Big Red.
Jackson Horvath buries the 3. This was a Marian team that came in shooting 18% from three-point range. They're off to an 11-0 start.
Jackson Horvath, his first 3 of the season, the best shooter on the team, finally gets his tray, and then how about this?
A 10-second count on Plymouth. Is that 4 or 5?
5 early turnovers here for the Pilgrims.
5 possessions, 5 turnovers. Rob Berger's defense really coming out on fire and sparking the offense. Here's Jordan Moust. Now Zion Rhodes. Paxton Sullivan, once again the crossover, and there's Owens for 3. That one the iron unkind, but Rhodes with the offensive rebound. Now Sullivan for 3. That's off the mark. And another offensive rebound. That was Owens. Now Sullivan for the layup.
And Rhodes with a beautiful pass for that bucket. Fantastic work by Marian, getting the rebounds, getting the second, the third opportunity, and then here comes turnover number 6 for Plymouth.
Joel Grindle trying to get his team to settle down, but clearly they haven't faced pressure like this so far this season.
Marian wanted to play fast, and they're playing fast on both ends right now.
They look very confident, very relaxed tonight. They have played a murderer's row of schedule, losing to Riley, Lures, and Mishawaka. And all 3 of those teams are undefeated. Sullivan missed, but another offensive rebound. Owens has it stripped away, though, by Van Dyne. And here's Plymouth in transition. Preston Wolf airballs the shot.
Now a turnover here. First of the night for Marian.
Plymouth with Trey Delp in the game now. And there's Kobe Walters, the leading scorer. He wears number 3. Van Dyne outside to Preston Wolf for 3. Couldn't get that one to go. And another Marian rebound. The Knights have owned the glass early on. A 5-1 advantage in rebounds for Marian. And Horvath off the front iron, but there's Zion Rhodes for an easy putback after getting great inside position.
4 Marian players have already scored as they're out to this 15-0 lead.
Kobe Walters finally gets Plymouth on the board 4 minutes in. Walters, a senior, averaging 16 points a game. Rhodes outside to Moust. He buries the 3-pointer. Wow. Marian is 3 out of 7 from 3-point range.
All 5 starters have now scored for the Knights.
Walters at the other end couldn't get it. Ellery tried to tip it up, but it goes out of bounds.
Elias Norgard and Brandon Foster now checking into the game for Marian.
Norgard, a senior who is a native of Copenhagen, Denmark.
Came over last year, his parents paying his way to get here. They're still in Denmark, and
Norgard buries the 3-pointer. And it's a 21-2 Marian lead. And a reach-in foul called on Brandon Foster. That'll be his first and the first on the Knights.
The Horvath family is all in on Marian High School. Jackson and Prescott are playing tonight, while Kayla and Atticus are Marian grads. Their dad, Peter, wants to set up their future and the future of your kids. He's a local lawyer specializing in estate planning. Prepare your family's future by contacting Peter Horvath Law today.
Again, the 2-3 zone of Marian. Van Dyne in the middle, dumps it down to Ellery for the reverse layup. Caden Ellery, the 6'5 junior, shows some of his athleticism down low. Sullivan to Elias Norgard. Now it's Owens to Foster. Rhodes had position down low, and Trey Delp gets called for the reach-in, his first, the second on the Pilgrims.
Michiana Contracting has grown to be one of the most comprehensive contractors in the state of Indiana. They have the resources and experience. They handle and protect from beginning to end and every aspect in between. Michiana Contracting in Plymouth.
What a spin move by Deuce Owens, and he can't get it to go. The rebound of Van Dyne. That is the first 2-pointer missed by Marian tonight. Preston Wolf. Now Ellery in the corner. Tried to drive baseline, and Norgard is called for the blocking foul. First on Elias, second on the Knights.
This holiday season, treat your loved ones to the gift of deliciousness from Raising Cane's. Fill their stockings with a limited edition holiday gift card. E-gift cards are available on RaisingCanesGear.com for an even faster way to give the gift of craveable chicken fingers. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers, one love.
Ellery's fade away, couldn't find the hole. Sullivan trying to go baseline, had it knocked out of bounds by Trent Van Dyne. Minute 59 to go here in the first. For the second straight game on 46, a visiting team in blue has exploded out of the gate.
After not being known for being able to shoot the ball in their previous games. LaVille did that Tuesday night after struggling in their opener. Marian struggled in their first 4 games and have been shooting lights out of the gate.
Down low to Foster, now Norgard for 3, off the mark. And the battle for the rebound goes to Delp in Plymouth. Van Dyne trying to go right to the hole, and his pass knocked out of bounds by Owens.
Marian High School challenges students to spiritual and moral growth, academic and physical excellence, and social maturity. Applications are open for the class of 2028. Start your journey today at marianhs.org. It's a great time to be a Knight. As you see the replay there in the Peter Horvath estate planning replay.
Wolf tried to go backdoor, but through too many Marian bodies. And Rhodes goes by Coastal with a Euro step for 2. Zion Rhodes now with 4 here in the quarter. Van Dyne serpentines his way down the floor, but missed the layup, and Norgard got the carom. Rhodes 4-3, short, and Ellery collects the loose change. Boy, Marian has not been shy about hoisting it from 3 tonight.
Well, when I went to practice on Wednesday, Rob Berger told the team, hey, I just want you to play fast. Let's just practice. Don't worry about it. Just play. Play as fast as you can. If we got a sub, we got a sub. Don't think, just play. It looks like it shows why he's won as many games as he has. 388. He's got his team cooking right now.
Walters hit that shot at the other end for Plymouth. Norgard not shy about shooting, but off the mark again, and the rebound to Delp. 4 of 11 from three-point range for Marian here in the first quarter. Down low, Ellery spinning on Rhodes, got up and under and was fouled from behind by Norgard, his second. It'll send him to the line for free throws sponsored by Lifeplex Fitness Forum.
And here's our Peter Horvath estate planning replays. You see the foul on the inside, and Plymouth hoping that will lead to some free throws here and some buckets and get some easy points perhaps. And first free throw is good. First Federal Savings Bank of Plymouth takes pride in being a full-service bank. See how their family can help your family today. Located at 2113 North Michigan Street in Plymouth.
Caden Ellery is a 68% free throw shooter. He had a double-double in their victory over John Glenn on opening night, and he swishes both here. Horvath, now to Moust. You see the clock, right-hand corner of the Tire Rack scoreboard. Rhodes had it knocked away and out of bounds. Plymouth student body disagrees. Their vote doesn't count.
See what set play Marian has here with 5.5 seconds left.
Moust gets it to Horvath. He launches, can't score, but that's about all that went wrong for Marian in that quarter. The Knights came out sizzling. Deuce Owens with a trace, and then Paxton Sullivan with a lay-in. Caden Ellery tried to answer, but it was almost all Marian. 23-8 Knights after one on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Bill's Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951. They sponsor our sideline reports. Bo Hunt is down there on the floor. And Bo, your thoughts on this Marian team through the first quarter?
Well, I think the biggest thing is they're just letting it fly. They're letting everything hang out there. They're not having any regrets on any of the bad shots or anything like that or any of the missed shots. They're just forgetting about it and moving on. And I think, Coach Berger talked about, we're going to have some missed shots. We're going to have some turnovers, but we just want to play fast. And I really like the way Marian plays fast over the past 5, 6, 7, 8 years. When they play fast, that's when they're at their best. And I think that's what they really need to do. I mean, heck, they're averaging only 44 a game. They're already halfway there, guys.
And as you see, this is unfamiliar territory for Marian. They haven't started a season with a record like this since 2016, but they did win the sectional that year.
Well, and they started 1-2 in 2020, and then that's the year they won a sectional as well, and that was one of the ones that Rob Berger referenced when he was talking to his team earlier this week. Actually told them they were 0-3 that year, and maybe a good coach speak there to get them even more motivated.
The lob to Caden Ellery, who goes up on the pogo stick, misses, and the rebound comes to Rhodes.
And this second quarter brought to you by St. Matthew Cathedral in South Bend.
Thank you, Father Andy. Here's Zion Rhodes kicking it back outside to Brandon Foster, whose sister Via plays at Western Kentucky. Mouse misses on the 3, and then a rebound foul called on Marian. I think they had Zion Rhodes for a little jaw jack.
Dad Brian, an assistant coach here, told me he's going to head down to Western Kentucky to see Nevaeh play in her game tomorrow. It'll be his 3rd time he'll get a chance to see her in person. It's her birthday this weekend, so happy birthday to one of my former interns at Redeemer Radio, Nevaeh Foster.
I almost didn't recognize Brian. He's lost probably about 45 pounds. It's a shell of a man.
This game's health tip is brought to you by HealthLink. Everyone knows you can't play or learn if you don't feel your best. If your child isn't feeling well, schedule a sick visit at HealthLink. HealthLink offers medical, dental, vision, and more.
Let's see if Plymouth can chisel its way back into this game. They have some pretty good three-point shooters on their own, but tough to get those three-pointers off against this Marian zone defense. And that's been a hallmark of Rob Berger teams for a long time. Cross-court pass to Delp. He tried to put it into the middle, but went right off the feet of Walters. And here's Marian in transition. Horvath left it beautifully for Ben Warnell for 2.
Well, you see, Horvath gets the confidence back, making that early three-pointer, and now the rest of the game coming together as well, and a nice pass.
Walters for 3, misfires, and the rebound comes to Paxton Sullivan. They'll kick it out to Moust for 3. Yes, sir. Jordan Moust with the three-pointer, and it's a 20-point Knights lead.
He now has 2 threes here tonight, his first 2 three-pointers made of the season.
A push in the back called against Marian, and Joel Grindle wants a timeout. With 6:08 to go here in the first half, it's been all Knights, all night. 28-8 on 46. And this edition of the 46 Game of the Week is being brought to you in part by Imagineering Finishing Technologies. IFT, where quality is a way of life. And a way of life for folks in Plymouth is that guy on the mic for the Rockies during football season. That's the inimitable John Scott, longtime assistant coach to Jack Edison, then was head coach
for 1 year.
For 1 year in 2008. They went all the way to the semi-state. And he is, well, he's in Mr. Plymouth. That's what he is.
We couldn't have said it better, because this man has been in Plymouth. He's been the voice of the Rockies and the Pilgrims forever. A great man, PA announcer here for Plymouth, and one of just overall good guys. When you talk about high school athletics and good people in it, John Scott is a leader in that pack.
He's as steady as the Yellow River, and he loves his Cubs.
CB Custom Painting in Elkhart and former Marian quarterback Maddox Begonia are cheering on the Knights tonight. CB Custom Painting is the auto body paint shop you can count on. Visit CB Custom Painting at 56769 Elk Court in Elkhart.
Dan Wen and the Plymouth Pilgrims find themselves down by 20 here. Wen in the corner, looking for help, and finds Delp.
John Scott had Randy Davis as a senior in his 1 year. Plymouth could use Randy Davis right now to crawl out of this 20-point deficit.
Kobe Walters will try to help, but was short on the three, and Deuce Owens gets another rebound. Plymouth 0 for 4 from beyond the arc tonight, which is unusual for them. They came in shooting 40% from outside. Paxton Sullivan for three.
Why not?
Everything dropping for Marian tonight. That is their 6th three of the first half. And a 23-point lead for the Knights. Plymouth seems a little bit shell-shocked. Their first 4 games, they played teams like John Glenn, Career Academy, LaPorte, and Jimtown. The Knights have raised the level of competition a little bit tonight.
Marian has made 11 three-pointers in the first 4 games. Now they've got 6 in the first half of this game. Talk about breaking out of their slump.
Ellery has it on the high post. Patiently gets in and draws the contact. And he'll go to the line as the foul called on Ben Warnell. Free throw sponsored by Lifeplex Fitness Forum.
And take a look at this replay brought to you by Peter Horvath Law Estate Planning. As another foul inside and a chance for Ellery to go to the free throw line. Fulcrum Rigging is a big supporter of Plymouth Athletics. Transporting machines can often take specialized equipment or lifts to move. Fulcrum Rigging in Plymouth has the ability to rig and move your machines no matter how complex.
One of the things I love about our crew, Tom Ward and Ryan Fitzpatrick, making sure you get that little sound of the net. Oh, of course. When we talk about it, it doesn't happen.
They heard it on the one before.
New form of the announcers jinx as Sullivan goes in for the layup, and he has 11 here in the first half. If you put a 46 game of the week on, a Sullivan is going to play well. It's almost a contractual thing.
Paxton, the 5th of the 6 Sullivan children. Yes, there's another, but she's only in 6th grade, so you got a little while before she'll start playing.
Kobe Walters called for the foul on the floor, so Marian will have to inbound.
Congratulations to Paxton's sister, Keegan, who just became a 1,000-point scorer in college. So she's a 1,000-point scorer in high school from her days at St. Joe as well as in college. Bensoft Pretzels has been supporting high school athletics since 2008. They believe that sports are an important part of a well-rounded education and are proud to support the next generation of athletes. Find Bensoft Pretzels at the University Park Mall and at most major Notre Dame athletic events. Have a pretzel day.
Ryan Tremaine wears number 30 in white for Plymouth. He just checked into the game a moment ago. Here's Moust on the drive, missed the layup, and Rhodes went in strong but couldn't get the shot. Here comes Plymouth the other way. A rare empty possession for the Marian Knights tonight. But another turnover for Plymouth, and Owens jams it. Ellery at the other end, a wild shot that caroms away to Marian. Down low, now Rhodes, 4-3. Wouldn't go, and Moust called for a foul. You'll get another look from Peter Horvath Law and Estate Planning at the Deuce Owens Deuce the easy way.
With authority inside. Deuce, if you're wondering who's named Deuce, it's William Owens II. He goes by Deuce. His dad, former fantastic player at Adams High School, was actually on the final team coached by Dave Hadaway.
So that's the 5th foul of the quarter on Marian. New rule sends Plymouth to the line here, and that's Ryan Tremaine, a 67% free throw shooter, taking foul shot sponsored by the Lifeplex Fitness Forum.
St. Matthew Cathedral in South Bend is proud to support Marian in tonight's game. St. Matt's invites you to Mass weekdays at 7 a.m. and 5:30 p.m., Saturday at 4 p.m., and Sundays at 7, 9, and 11 a.m. Thank you to St. Matthew Cathedral in South Bend for sponsoring tonight's game.
Tremaine 0 for 2 in that trip to the stripe, and the rebound to Marian. Sullivan tried to give it to Horvath. It went out off of Jackson and out of bounds, and Plymouth will get it back.
Just the 3rd turnover of the night for the Knights.
And another timeout called here by Plymouth with 3:25 to go first half. We'll keep it here.
Christo's Family Dining in Plymouth is open 7 days a week, serving up homemade soups, pies, and daily specials. Like them on Facebook to keep up to date with all of their specials.
Coming up on Wednesday night and Thursday afternoon on TV46, boy, South Bend Clay played a wonderful game last night against South Bend, Washington. And Doug Barnbrook's team is off to a great start in the final year of the school. They'll get a visit from, it's the Redhawks, but it should be the Giants of Goshen if you look at the heights on that roster. Should be an interesting contrast. Goshen and South Bend Clay. We'll have it for you Wednesday night at 9 and Thursday afternoon at 2 on your home for high school sports, TV46.
Martin Supermarket's Groceries to Go annual subscriptions are now available, just $29.99 for the year. Get app pricing, digital coupons, recipes directly from your account. Learn more at martinsgroceriestogo.com.
3:25 to go here in the first half. Marian has 35 points on the board tonight. Remember, they lost on Tuesday night to Mishawaka 40-38. That wasn't the halftime score, that was the final.
A little bit of a different style of play here for the Knights. They're looking like a different team, as we have said throughout this first half. And now they start looking like that scary Marian team of old, don't they?
It also might give you an appreciation for how good Bodie Bender's team is over at Mishawaka, and what a nice job the former Jimtown player has done in a couple of years there at the Cave.
As well as how good Riley's going to be, and we'll have them next Friday against St. Joe, which should be a great matchup of two teams who could be undefeated in that game.
That joint should be jumping at Algie Oldham Gymnasium next Friday night. Here, Plymouth trying to get into double figures with this possession. Tremaine, a deep three that's off the mark, and the rebound to Sullivan.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies in South Bend is globally known as the knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. Like the teams in this game, Imagineering is always working towards a great finish. Thank you, Imagineering, for your continued support of high school sports on TV46.
Foster couldn't hit the three, and then Owens gets caught with his hand embracing the arm of Ellery, and so Ellery will go back to the free throw line. And here's a chance for Plymouth to chisel away as you look at Joel Grindle. In his third year here with the Pilgrims, he also coached at Argus and then 6 years at North Montgomery. Won 3 sectionals and 2 regionals as a varsity player here at Plymouth. The free throw sponsored by Lifeplex Fitness Forum as Ellery hits the first.
He was an assistant on the 2007 Plymouth team that won the state championship. My first week on the job at WNDU, first week in South Bend for me. What a way to begin the tenure, seeing Plymouth win a state title.
Gave you a quick appreciation for what Indiana high school basketball is about, as Foster throws that one out of bounds, but a blocking foul is called on Ryan Tremaine.
Take a look at the replay here, brought to you by Peter Horvath Estate Planning. Brandon Foster losing the handle a little bit, but makes the contact, and they call the foul. Non-shooting foul here, so CB Custom Painting not getting their free throws here in the first half. The only thing that Marian hasn't been able to do in terms of the scoring column is get to the free throw line, really.
Ball out of bounds off Deuce Owens will go to Plymouth.
DeWalt Fluid Power and the DeChico family are always pulling for Marian. DeWalt Fluid Power is a full-service air and hydraulics and tooling components distributor. People you can trust, technology and solutions you deserve. Congratulations to DeWalt Fluid Power on celebrating 60 years in business.
A little bit of sweat, got on the floor, gets cleaned up, and we're ready to go. And Marian staying in this full court pressure. Rob Berger has found something that works, and he's not willing to let go of it just yet. Kobe Walters tries to drive the distance, misses the turnaround, and the rebound to Zion Rhodes. Plymouth with only 3 made field goals here in the half, and a travel called on Zion Rhodes.
4th turnover of the first half for the Knights, 11 meanwhile for Plymouth.
That's one of the stories of this game. The other one is the shooting. But it's really the defense of Marian that has created the offense for Marian tonight. Tremaine in the corner for 3 is short. Walters poked the rebound away, but only briefly. Foster in the corner, now baseline. Outside to Horvath. Sullivan got a step on his man, but a blocking foul is called on Ryan Tremaine. The second on Tremaine, the third on the Pilgrims.
And these free throws brought to you by CB Custom Painting. Shakaroni, it's bigger than pizza for only $13.99. A pizza that's bigger than pizza. 8 foldable shack-size slices loaded with extra cheese and extra pepperoni, spread all the way to the edge. Try the Shakaroni fit to feed a shack-size family. $13.99. And thank you to Papa John's Pizza of Plymouth for feeding our crew with great pizza here tonight. Papa John's Pizza, better ingredients, better pizza.
Here are your CB Custom Painting free throws from Paxton Sullivan, who hits them both. Paxton now with 13 to lead all scores. In fact, he's outscored the Pilgrims. Ellery, top side. Thought about the three. He can hit that shot, but instead draws a blocking foul. I think they're going to call this one on Jackson Horvath, his first. And Ellery will go back to the stripe where he has been effective tonight.
And this trip to the free throw line brought to you by LifePlex Fitness Forum.
And Ellery nestling that one home. Caden with 8 points here in the first half, but the problem for Plymouth is they have only had 2 players score. Ellery and Walters combining for all 12 of the Pilgrim points.
And Chuck, correct me if I'm wrong, they have not hit a field goal in the second quarter, I don't think. I think it's all been free throws here in the second quarter after scoring just 8 points in the first quarter.
Owens, bucket in the bump. And Deuce Owens having a terrific night tonight as you get another look here from Peter Horvath Law and Estate Planning.
Owens inside. That's the tough way to get the three-point play right there as they go to the free throw line, courtesy of CB Custom Painting.
Foul was called on Trey Delp. Owens misses the charity toss. And the rebound to the Pilgrims.
Deuce now with 8 points here tonight.
In a very nicely balanced Marian attack. Good pass inside to Walters. And apparently he's fouled from behind by Ben Warnell, and that's the second on Ben.
St. Joseph County Police Department is here to protect and serve our community, and they're looking for more people to join their team. Employment opportunities for high school graduates are available, and they offer outstanding benefits and a true family environment on their team. Learn more at sjcindiana.com/employment.
LifePlex Fitness Forum sponsoring the Caden Ellery free throws. Caden had a career-high 24 against Rochester last year. He has 10 points tonight. Knights by 25. Horvath, 4-3. Yes, sir. Jackson Horvath's second three-pointer of the night, and the 7th by the Knights in the first half.
You'll hear from Jackson coming up at halftime, our 46 Student Athlete of the Week, presented by Tony Letcher of Health Markets.
They work the ball around. Ellery outside. Owens has a hand up on him. Sullivan nearly got the steal. Now Tremaine, a deep three. That's off the mark. And the rebound to Marian.
And then here's a steal by Plymouth.
Preston Wolf short on his three-pointer. Horvath gets that rebound. Plymouth now 0 for 8 from three-point range tonight. And Marian will hold for the last shot. Horvath will take it, won't make it. Parker Wolf from half court, way off the mark, and the first half has come to an end. Rob Berger clapping his hands. Why not? His team leads at 42-14. They head to the locker room. Bill's Heating Custom Plumbing sideline report with Bo Hunt.
Coach, you talked about really getting these kids going. Offense really got going, but your defense is really what led to it a lot as well. Your thoughts on that first half?
Yeah, I thought we did a really good job of contesting their perimeter players. You know, made it tough to, get shots up. We need a better job of moving our feet and giving them so many easy points at the free throw line.
A little bit of foul trouble. Does that concern you at all?
We're going to play as many guys as we have to. I think we'll be okay, and unless they start calling it a lot more in the second half, I guess.
Thanks, Rob.
All right, thanks a lot, Bo. Stick around, everybody. We've got our Tony Letcher Health Market Student Athletes of the Week and our St. Joe County Police Department halftime show. It's been a dominating performance by the Marian Knights. They lead at 42-14 on 46.
Time now for our 46 Student Athletes of the Week, presented by Tony Letcher of Health Markets. We have Jackson Horvath, a Marian senior with us, and Sophie Ray, a Plymouth senior with us here for our 46 Student Athletes of the Week. We'll start with Jackson, who plays not only basketball, but is a golfer and has a 3.1 GPA and does a lot of volunteering as well. How do you balance it all between academics and athletics and volunteering?
I'd say main thing is just time managing. Sometimes not being able to hang out with friends to do homework or having practice. It's just a lot sometimes, but time managing is the main thing.
Tell us about volunteering and what that means to you and why you enjoy doing that.
Yeah, I just like helping out the community. I was a part of the Mayor's Youth Council my sophomore and junior year in Mishawaka. So like we do food drives and help with like Halloween things and Christmas things around the community.
Your little brother Prescott, I say little, he's a lot bigger than you are, is on the team. Your two older siblings also graduated from Marian. What does Marian mean to you and your family?
It means a lot. I mean, a lot of family going on in school. I mean, just a lot going on there. Yeah.
Jackson, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sophie Ray is a senior at Plymouth. She's an outstanding cross-country runner, also participates in track and field, has a 3.92 GPA. How do you make it all work?
Honestly, I think prioritizing my mental health is like a really big thing. Just struggling with anxiety and stuff, so it's a really big deal to me. I take a lot of art classes and I have a study hall, and then so that gives me a lot of time to focus on my true academic classes and being able to just time management as well.
When you get to college, you want to study elementary education. Why?
Yeah, I wanted to be a teacher my whole life. I really just want to make an impact on like younger kids, and I think that the job doesn't always get like recognized as it should. But yeah, I want everyone to make sure that you can get the education you need and deserve.
How has Plymouth prepared you for the future, and what does being a Plymouth Pilgrim mean to you?
Honestly, just the supporting, uplifting community. Like I've never felt more love, especially like throughout state week, just like the community, teachers, administration, like so much love, so much support. And so I think that it's a really good community and place to be.
Sophie, thank you very much. Congratulations. Jackson, congratulations once again. Jackson Horvath, Sophie Ray, our 46 Student Athletes of the Week, presented by Tony Letcher of Health Markets. We have your first half stats and highlights right after this on the TV46 Game of the Week.
This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Martin Supermarkets. Count on us for all your grocery needs and so much more. Marian leading Plymouth 42-14 here at the intermission rock as we welcome you inside the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth. Chuck Freeby and Angelo DiCarlo with you from the corner. And man, for the Marian team that looked like they were on the ropes coming in at 1-3, they're firing haymakers tonight.
They seemingly can't miss after going four games where they couldn't make shots, right? And it's really simple when it comes down to it. You make shots, you win basketball games. That's what Marian's done, and that's what Plymouth hasn't been able to do here tonight.
We're going to show you an awful lot of Marian made shots in these halftime highlights. They came out on all cylinders tonight as they were hitting three-pointers left and right. First duo Sowens, and then Jackson Horvath buried one. Paxton Sullivan came inside, got a deuce on a nice feed there from Zion Rhodes. And then they went back to the outer assault. Jordan Mouse with the three-pointer there. Caden Ellery finally helping Plymouth get on the board with a field goal here on a nice reverse layup. But Marian just had so many weapons. Zion Rhodes with 4 points in that first half. Kobe Walters had 4 in the first half for Plymouth. But Marian really rounded out the second quarter well. Jordan Mouse would bury one here, then Sullivan 3 more of his team high 13. And Deuce Owens with some transition, which was really a hallmark of Marian in that half, the transition dunk. And as you take a look at the first half numbers, they're beautiful for Marian, and they are not pretty for Plymouth.
Yeah, Plymouth came into the game shooting 40% from 3. They have yet to make one, 0 of 8. Marian had come into the game only making 11 three-pointers all season. They have 7 here tonight. And the other end that's big, if you look at these numbers, 19 rebounds for Marian, only 10 for Plymouth. So Marian has done an excellent job cleaning up the glass and giving themselves second and third chance opportunities offensively and limiting Plymouth's opportunity to get second chance opportunities on the other end.
They've dominated in every facet of the game, and that's why they're up by 4 touchdowns right now. 42-14 at the break. This has been the St. Joe County Police Department halftime report. We've got second half play-by-play from the Rock in Plymouth after this on 46. And this edition of the 46 Game of the Week is being brought to you by HealthLink, your community health center. We bring you back inside the Rock in Plymouth as we get ready to start the second half. Let's go downstairs for a Bills Heating sideline report. Bo Hunt just spoke with Joel Grindle. What did the Plymouth coach have to say?
Yeah, I got a chance to talk to Joel, and I said, you ran into kind of a buzzsaw there. And he goes, you said it exact right. That was a buzzsaw. He goes, Marian comes out, and they play probably their best half they've played all year. And he goes, our kids were a little shell-shocked. And you know what? They have a lot of growing to do, and this is a great opportunity for us to grow as a team and kids as individuals as well. He goes, that's what I just kind of talked about. We got to stay focused. We got to get back into this game right from the start. And I think that's the biggest thing moving forward with this team. Guys?
You know, it's interesting he says that, Chuck, because remember, only one senior, a lot of inexperience. We talked to that at the beginning, and things were going right for him through the first 4 games. Now they face that adversity and an opportunity to learn here because of that adversity, and we'll see what happens here in the second half. Freezing temperatures, sleet, snow, and ice will be here soon enough. Are your tires ready to tackle winter's worst? The experts at TireRack.com will get your vehicle ready for prime time. They sell tires that dominate winter. TireRack.com, the way tire buying should be.
Let's quickly get in our Ben Soft Pretzel trivia question for the night. You got 2 coaches here who played ball, Rob Berger and Joel Grindle. We want to know, of these 2 coaches, which one scored the most points in their high school career? I'm being so nice to the viewers. It's a 50-50 question. With that in mind, before we answer it, we'll tell you our third quarter tonight is being brought to you by CB Custom Painting.
Lifeplex in Plymouth is Marshall and surrounding counties' premier medical wellness facility. They support student sports and athletes of all ages. Join them at Fitness Forum at Lifeplex for court sports, track, cardio, and strength workouts, skill training, rock climbing, and swimming. Go Big Red.
Marian starts the third quarter with the basketball and a 42-14 lead. Knights trying to go to 2-3 for the season. Jackson Horvath, who had a strong first half with 6 points and some nice assists. And Paxton Sullivan, the leading scorer in that half for Marian.
Last week on that Ben Soft Pretzels, you made people think back 30 years. Now they get a 50-50 shot.
Uncle Chuck in the Christmas spirit. What can I say? Here's Dan Wen. The sophomore gives it to Preston Wolf. Both of those guys were scoreless in the first half. In fact, the only guys who scored for Plymouth in that first half were Kobe Walters and Caden Ellery. Ellery has the ball right now.
Plymouth did not have a field goal in the second quarter. Only 3 field goals in the entire game so far.
Now an open 3 for Trent Van Dyne, and he airballs it. And the rebound comes to Marian. Outside to Deuce Owens. Another impressive thing about Marian tonight is how many different guys have hit 3-pointers, although Owens airmailed that one, but the rebound goes out of bounds off Plymouth.
Planning and preparation are important in life. When it comes to estate planning, Peter Horvath Law will get you prepared. Need a will, trust, living will, or power of attorney? Peter Horvath is ready to advise and support you in protecting your assets and passing them on to your family. Learn more at peterhorvathlaw.com. Go Knights.
Well, that was a Horvath taking the shot. And Plymouth comes the other way. Dan Wen for 3. It rattled out. And Plymouth is now 0 for 10 outside the arc. Walters is fouled by Horvath. The second on Jackson.
They could have made it Horvath and Horvath. Law firm there if Jackson could have made that 3.
Elias Norgard will check back into the action for Marian. The big fella takes the spot of Horvath here in the Knights lineup.
Neither team has scored here to start this third quarter.
Van Dyne in the paint. Oh, nice backdoor pass to Ellery, who positioned himself well but couldn't hit the layup. It has been that kind of night for the Pilgrims.
Plymouth having the offensive woes really that Marian experienced in their first 4 games.
Norgard outside. Trap.
Michiana Contracting has grown to be one of the most comprehensive contractors in the state of Indiana. They have the resources and experience to handle and protect from beginning to end and every aspect in between. Michiana Contracting in Plymouth.
Wen lost the handle. Here comes Marian the other way. Owens with the Euro step for 2. And Owens now with 10. That's right around the average for the 6'3" junior this season. Here's Wolf in the corner. Another 3 missed by the Pilgrims. Ellery draws the foul.
This trip to the free throw line brought to you by Lifeplex Fitness Forum. As you take a look at the replay, missed 3. Ellery going up. He gets fouled and he'll go to the line.
Caden Ellery with 10 points tonight, and 8 of those are on free throws. He is adding up points as though he's the Count on Sesame Street.
Download the Racing Cane's mobile app to make seasons feasting easier this holiday season. Quickly and easily order ahead for all your holiday meal needs. Raising Cane's, chicken fingers, one love. Just 1, 2,
11. 44-15 in favor of Marian. Rhodes. Nice look down to Owens for 2. And Owens ties his career high of 12 that he set on Tuesday night against Mishawaka. Here's Walters for 3. That's off the mark. Wolf went behind the back, and Trey Delp will be going to the line this time for Plymouth. Free throw sponsored by Lifeplex Fitness Forum. Hey, let's go ahead and answer that Ben Soft Pretzel trivia question for you. We asked you which of these 2 coaches scored the most points in their high school career. Well, one played for his dad, so
Yeah.
We'll give Rob Berger the benefit of the doubt there. 953 points compared to the 730 for Joel Grindle.
That prevented him getting those other 47 points, though, is what I would say.
And that's what Rob would say, too.
Bob Berger in attendance here tonight, sitting behind the Marian bench.
Trey Delp hits his first 2 free throws of the season, the 3-sport athlete. Nice drive by Sullivan, and he is fouled going up by Preston Wolf.
Where you go to high school matters. Marian High School is a statewide leader in offering dual credit and advanced placement college level courses. 89% of the class of 2023 earn college credit at no additional tuition costs. Find out more at marianhs.org. It's a great time to be a Knight, and these free throws are brought to you by Marian High School.
Paxton Sullivan came in averaging only 9 points a game, but he has 14 tonight. His career high of 18 came against Riley this season. In fact, this is the first game in his career that was double figures that wasn't against the Riley Wildcats.
You hear that swish from our audio. That time you could hear it.
Yes. It helps when they make it. 48-17 in favor of Marian. And if you're wondering, in high school basketball, the running clock starts when a team gets a lead of 35 points. Not a situation that Plymouth as the home team wants to be in, as the foul is called on Jordan Moust.
First Federal Savings Bank of Plymouth doesn't want to be the biggest bank, just the best. Call them today at 574-546-2121 to see how their family can help your family.
That's 4 fouls on Marian here in the third quarter, so every foul they make the rest of the way sends Plymouth to the line for 2 free throws, sponsored by LifePlex Fitness Forum. Trey Delp handles it up top, and that pass stolen away by Sullivan. He'll go the distance for 2. Paxton now with 17. Marian with a 33-point lead. Wolf. Now Van Dyne. Plymouth trying to show some patience against the long arm 2-3 zone of the Marian Knights. The wings really defending well. Down low to Delp. Here's Van Dyne with a little shake and bake move and powers it up, but Rhodes affected the shot. Marian coming the other way. Foster now with the ball outside for the Knights. Sullivan. Now here's one area where Marian at times has struggled this year with the half-court offense. But Owens worked inside, missed the shot. And here's Wolf coming the other way.
And at least for now, Plymouth avoiding the running clock, but then they turn it right over.
And the turnovers have been the bane of Plymouth's existence tonight. They have 13 of them.
This game's health tip is brought to you by Health Link. Everyone knows you can't play or learn if you don't feel your best. If your child isn't feeling well, schedule a sick visit at Health Link. Health Link offers medical, dental, vision, and more.
Here's Foster. Coming around the left-hand dribble. And Foster whips it down low, and Warnell lays it up and in. And that's the 35-point lead for Marian. Wolf lost the handle, but Walters now has it. Walters down on the baseline, goes up and scores. Kobe Walters with 6 tonight, but the senior came in averaging 16.
CB Custom Painting in Elkhart and former Marian quarterback Maddox Begonia are cheering on the Knights here tonight. CB Custom Painting is the auto body paint shop you can count on. Visit CB Custom Painting on Elk Court in Elkhart.
Owens again down low, lays it up and in. Deuce Owens having the best night of his young career as he now has 14. Anj mentioned earlier, Owen's dad was a player at Adams. In fact, on Dave Hadaway's last team back in 1992. Foster found an open man, and Sullivan misses the three-point effort. Plymouth comes the other way. Walters struggling to handle the ball and then threw it off a foot. Minute 15 to go, third quarter. Marian by 35 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you by Ben's Soft Pretzels, serving our community one pretzel at a time.
Running clock now in play here with Marian up by 35 late in the third.
Dan Wen missed on the short jumper. Elias Norgard puts the ball on the floor and loses the handle. Ellery scoops it up for Plymouth. Ellery working inside, gets the bucket of the bump. Caden now with 13 for the Pilgrims.
This trip to the free throw line will be brought to you by LifePlex Fitness Forum. As you take a look at the replay, brought to you by Peter Horvath Estate Planning. And they're having a discussion of whether or not the clock should continue running or not here on free throws.
Well, they've stopped it for now.
I think they were saying you need to stop it, and it was still running.
Right.
That's one of the areas where you do stop it, is during free throws, as Ellery makes the free throw.
So a 54-22 Marian lead as the final seconds of quarter number 3 run down.
Fulcrum Rigging is a big supporter of Plymouth Athletics. Transporting machines can often take specialized equipment or lifts to move. Fulcrum Rigging in Plymouth has the ability to rig and move your machines no matter how complex.
Elias Norgard with a three-pointer, and the Marian Knights take a 35-point lead to the fourth quarter. The boys in blue have been making Plymouth blue tonight. They're up 57-22 going to the fourth on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you by API St. Andrews. 31 years of success. It only seems like Marian's had successful teams for 31 years, Bo Hunt. But one of the reasons they play great defense, and you are seeing up close one of the reasons they do play great defense.
Yeah, I mean, being out here or down on the floor, you get to hear some of the kids talking. You get to hear the coaches talking as well. The communication that they had down here on the floor, or have had in this game, it's just been unbelievable. And I think that's one of the biggest things I think Coach Berger talked about is his team playing together as a team and understanding where each player is at. The communication down here between the players has just been fantastic, talking about who needs to cover here, who's behind who, and they're talking without even having to look at the players. That's when you know you're in sync, when you're talking to your teammates and you don't even have to look at them. Guys?
Marian by 35 as we start the fourth.
Ben Soft Pretzels has been supporting high school athletics since 2008. They believe that sports are an important part of a well-rounded education and are proud to support the next generation of athletes. Find Ben Soft Pretzels at the University Park Mall and at most major Notre Dame athletic events. Have a pretzel day.
Zion Rhodes called for the charge. That's only the second foul on Zion tonight. And remember, the clock will continue to run.
St. Matthew's Cathedral in South Bend is proud to support Marian in tonight's game. St. Matt's invites you to Mass weekdays at 7 a.m. and 5:30 p.m., Saturday at 4 p.m., and Sundays at 7, 9, and 11 a.m. Thank you to St. Matt's Cathedral in South Bend.
Plymouth gets it outside to Caden Ellery. Ellery with 14 points to lead the Pilgrims tonight, but went over and back there.
Christoph's Family Dining has been hosting Christmas parties for over 31 years with homemade soups, Christmas specials, and desserts. You can't go wrong. Call them today to book your Christmas party.
Jackson Horvath checking back in along with Jordan Moust and Deuce Owens. Marian will host Lake Central next Friday night in their next action. it doesn't get much easier for Plymouth as Northwood comes to town next Friday.
Beautiful pass there by Deuce Owens to Ben Warnell for the bucket. Owens doing a little bit of everything here tonight. He's been great on the defensive end, has scored some points, and they're a very nice assist.
He's had a really solid all-around game. He might get my vote for Raising Cane's player of the game. It'll either be him or Paxton Sullivan.
Yeah, I was leaning on Sullivan because they needed him to break out. They needed one of those guards to start shooting from the outside, and he's been one of those ones that has really broken out here tonight.
He does lead them in scoring. Mr. Hunt, you want to vote in this proceeding?
I'll just pick. That's fine.
Well, yeah, you're the guy down on the floor. Ultimately, it does come down to you.
I think Paxton, just the way he played in the first half,
Sure.
really carried him and really got him out started in the big lead. I mean, I think he scored 6 or 9 of their first 11 or 12 points, something like that. So, I mean, he's been doing it from the start, and, you know, he's closing in on a career high.
Dan Wen can't get that one to go. The rebound to Deuce Owens.
Martin Supermarkets, groceries to go. Annual subscriptions are now available, just $29.99 on the year. Get app pricing, digital coupons, recipes directly from your account. Learn more at martinsgroceriestogo.com.
Horvath came up a little bit too strong on that three-point attempt. 5 minutes to go in this one. Marian by 37.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies with a 3. Well, they didn't hit the 3. Colby Walters does for the Plymouth Pilgrims.
First 3 of the night for the Pilgrims.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies in South Bend, globally known as the knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. Like the teams in this game, Imagineering is always working towards a great finish. Thank you, Imagineering, for your continued support of high school sports on TV46. Everyone wants to hit a 3 when Imagineering is getting sponsored.
Jordan Mouse with his third 3 of the night. Walters to Ellery. The pull-up jumper is off the mark, and Norgard collects the loose change.
Give a shout out to Marian High School for sponsoring the free throws here in the second half, because they haven't had many mentions in that regard. And how about Jackson Horvath with a 3 and a timeout here on the floor.
4:01 to go in this one. Marian now up 40 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned.
Take a look at the Peter Horvath estate planning replay, because you know he wanted at least one replay here tonight of his son training a trifecta. Jackson Horvath breaking out of the shooting slump here tonight, our 46 Student Athlete of the Week. It's good when Dad sponsors the program. You break out of the slump. A good night for the Horvath family and the Marian family as a whole.
Jackson also a member of the Marian golf team. I'm guessing he's pretty good on the par 3s.
Ha ha! DeWalt Fluid Power and the Chico family are always pulling for Marian. DeWalt Fluid Power is a full-service air and hydraulics and tooling components distributor. People you can trust, technology and solutions you deserve. Congratulations to DeWalt Fluid Power on celebrating 60 years in business.
Both teams getting a little deeper into the bench now. Caden Ellery's younger brother is out there on the floor, Kylan. But here's a steal for Marian. And Eric Logan is pushed from behind here. I don't know if the big fella's going to get a chance to go to the foul line on this one or not. It does not appear he will, as you get another look from Peter Horvath, Law Estate Planning.
I have a little story about Eric Logan. His little brother would often sit right next to where our cables for our Redeemer radio broadcast was. So anytime we would have a little trouble, we'd make sure his little brother would help us out and put it back together. He was a good little guy, and give him a shout out here tonight.
Isaiah Watts, number 14, handling the ball. There's Norgard missing the bank shot. Walters gets the rebound for Plymouth with 3 minutes left.
I'd like to thank Papa John's Pizza of Plymouth for feeding the production crew with great pizza. Papa John's Pizza, better ingredients, better pizza. Get a shakaroni for only $13.99 at Papa John's Pizza of Plymouth.
Walters for three. That one's a little too strong. We've got some pushing, shoving as the ball hit the strap, the basket support.
By the way, we mentioned a lot the Horvath family. Now Prescott Horvath in the game. The younger brother, but bigger brother of Jackson Horvath.
Brandon Foster handling the ball down low, and it's knocked away and out of bounds. And Plymouth will get some more of the reserves in as Caden Milliser will come in. Plymouth a bit short-handed because of a illness bug going around the school. And Ellery and Walters will check out. Those two combining for 23 points tonight. But Joel Grindle will certainly have his team's attention now as they try to get ready for a Northwood team that was surprised by Westview Thursday night over in Emmetown.
So two teams that are going to be hungry for a victory and hungry to bounce back and get into shape. It's probably a tough spot for Plymouth to be in when that other team trying to bounce back is the defending 3A state champions.
Well, and not only that, but it's the start of Northern Lakes Conference play next week. Here's Tremaine for three. That one came up a little short.
Well, and as Bo mentioned before the broadcast, you know, these two teams not in the same conference, not in the same sectional. What tonight was a litmus test and a learning experience for both sides. Worked out well for Marian. Plymouth now, hopefully, this turns into, hey, how do we improve from here and get better as the season progresses? Because it is only December, right? There's plenty of time until you get to March in the section.
Well, and the beauty of basketball, it's a 22-game exhibition season. Everybody's going to make the tournament, and you learn from nights like this. If you're Plymouth, you learn from it if you're Marian as well.
Well, absolutely. I think Marian now finally has some confidence on the shooting end, and that's as much of a problem as anything. If once you get your confidence there, that can help you.
Foster misfires there, and a reach-in foul is called. And the clock will continue to run as we go under 30 seconds to go in this one. So Marian will go to 2 and 3 on the year. Plymouth will drop to 3 and 2. We mentioned Plymouth against Northwood. And I'll repeat, Marian has to play host to a very good Lake Central team next Friday night. So yet another litmus test for the Knights, but that's what Rodberger wants from his non-conference schedule.
Then they get undefeated Gary West. Then they'll have the Homestead tournament. They got a lot of big battles ahead for the Marian Knights.
Hayden Feldman drains the jumper for Plymouth at the end of the game. And this one is over at the Rock in Plymouth with Marian defeating Plymouth tonight by a final score of 65-27. Stick around. Our St. Joe County Police Department postgame show is next, featuring our Raising Cane's player of the game and our electrifying play of the game. It's all next on the 46 game of the week.
And 4 points for Zion Rhodes for the Pilgrims. Kate Ellery with 14 points. Kobe Walters with 9 points. 2 points each for Trey Delp and Hayden Feldman.
You guys are ready. I got
The
Paxton.
Pilgrims will be in action game next Friday night.
3, 2, 1. Standing by with our player of the game, Paxton Sullivan. First off, 17 points tonight. You guys came out on fire. Just talk about you and your teammates and how you guys really came out in this game.
I mean, we've had a slow start this season, and Coach really dialed into our heads to play faster. Deuce, Zion, great big men, great people to rely on to get rebounds. And then we had our guards, Jackson and Jordan, ready to shoot it and make it. And that's what came out with intensity, and that's what made the game.
The faster you guys played, it looked like the better you guys played. You guys feel more comfortable playing at that faster speed?
Way more comfortable than a slow. We're not really a half-court team. We're a full-court team, and we really worked on that in practice this week, so that's what really helped us win today.
Your offense was on fire, but your defense was even more excellent. Just talk about how you guys played that defense in your zone as well.
I mean, it's just relying on our teammates, you know, to get in the spots. So if we get beat, you know, Zion will always be in the middle, ready to take the penetration. If not, we'll have hands out on the shooters, and something we really work on. So
Is this a great stepping stone for this team this season?
Great stepping stone. We see how we can play now at full speed, and we're ready to move forward.
Hey, congratulations. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV46 High School Basketball Game of the Week, brought to you by
They call it the Rock. It may have been the Woodshed tonight because that's where Marian took Plymouth. 65-27 the final. As we welcome you inside the Martin Supermarket broadcast booth for our St. Joe County Police Department postgame show. Chuck Freeby and Angelo DiCarlo high above the fray. Marian had hit 11 three-pointers for the season coming in 4 games. They hit 10 tonight. That's your story.
And that's what it's all about, right? They were not able to make shots in their first 4 games. The defense has been wonderful, but they couldn't make shots. They only scored, under 40 points just Tuesday night, and here they are. They scored 65 points, and they had this game won by the end of the first quarter. Lights out, and that's the difference. And really, when it comes to the Raising Cane's player of the game, there's a lot of guys we could have given it to because there were a lot of guys that played really good basketball and probably a number of guys that played their best game of the season.
Yeah, but a guy that really got that scoring going in the first half for Marian and helped comfortably put this one away. Led the team tonight with 17 points. It's Paxton Sullivan, our Raising Cane's player of the game, standing by now with Bo Hunt.
Standing by with our player of the game, Paxton Sullivan. First off, 17 points tonight. You guys came out on fire. Just talk about you and your teammates and how you guys really came out in this game.
I mean, we've had a slow start this season, and Coach really dialed into our heads to play faster. Deuce, Zion, great big men, great people to rely on to get rebounds. And then we had our guards, Jackson and Jordan, ready to shoot it and make it. And that's what came out of intensity, and that's what made the game.
The faster you guys played, it looked like the better you guys played. You guys feel more comfortable playing at that faster speed?
Way more comfortable than a slow. We're not really a half-court team. We're a full-court team, and we really worked on that in practice this week. So that's what really helped us win today.
Your offense was on fire, but your defense was even more excellent. Just talk about how you guys played that defense in your zone as well.
I mean, it's just relying on our teammates, to get into the spots. So if we get beat, Zion will always be in the middle, ready to take the penetration. If not, we'll have hands out on the shooters, and something we really work on. So,
is this a great stepping stone for this team this season?
Great stepping stone. We see how we can play now at full speed, and we're ready to move forward.
Hey, congratulations. Best of luck the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Marian, a team that, while they have some inexperience on the roster, those guys have been in the program. They understand the expectation. Plymouth is a young team, and it showed tonight. In the words of Joel Grindle at halftime, they were shell-shocked.
Well, they've been making shots. Then they face this Marian defense, and all of a sudden they can't make shots. They can't get rebounds. They can't get the second chance opportunities because of the way Marian was crashing the boards. And suddenly that inexperience shows, right? And they just couldn't make shots. I think it's going to be a great learning experience for Plymouth. It may not work out in the next game against Northwood. It might. But overall, I think this is a game they can look back on maybe come March or even next year when this team is even older, because 4 of the 5 starters are underclassmen.
And we want to thank our TV46 crew who helped bring you this one. But before we do, let's have our electrifying play of the game from Local 153.
And why not? Jordan Mouse, Deuce Owens, Deuce with the slam. And Deuce, one of the many contenders that could have been that Raising Cane's player of the game, but here he is putting together that big slam dunk for the Marian Knights here tonight. By the way, one last question for you. Paxton Sullivan, does that make all 5 Sullivan kids that have played 46 players of the game at some point?
I think it might.
I probably would imagine so. So congratulations to Paxton.
Absolutely.
For continuing one amazing tradition.
So that will do it for our broadcast tonight. Our thanks to our entire TV46 crew. Dean Korsmar, our production manager, handed over the reins to the killer tonight. Matt Kowalski did a great job, along with the bubbly one, Tony Beltran, working the dials. A reminder, we've got more high school basketball for you next week when the Clay Colonials play host to the Goshen Redhawks Wednesday night at 9 and Thursday afternoon on TV46. And don't forget college basketball on the radio. We'll divide our Pulse FM signal on 92.1 and 96.9 at 1:30 Saturday afternoon. It's Purdue in Alabama. At 2 o'clock on 103.1, it's Indiana and Auburn. Don't forget to follow us on social media for the latest updates on high school sports. For Angelo DiCarlo and Bo Hunt, it's Chuck Freeby. Once again, the final, Marian 65, Plymouth 27. So long from the Rock in Marshall County.